Hi, I'm Maddie Orr. I'm the founder of the Sport Ecology Group, and in this video, I'm going to share a little bit about how we at the Sport Ecology Group use our little corner of the internet to inspire change across the sport industry.
Let's start with why we focus on sports in the first place. Nelson Mandela famously said, "Sport has the power to change the world." And we've seen this happen. Consider that Muhammad Ali elevated a global conversation about human rights, and Billie Jean King launched one of the biggest gender pay equity campaigns of all time. Several decades later, athletes are still leading the way on several social issues, including equal wages, which the US women's national team is currently fighting for, and against police brutality, where Colin Kaepernick took a knee. We also see that the WNBA has been fighting for racial justice and women's rights on a number of levels, and most recently, the Milwaukee Bucks led the NBA and later the WNBA, MLB, MLS, and several other athletes in the largest sports strike of all time in protest of ongoing police brutality and racial injustice. These efforts have forced major structural and policy changes both within the sport world and beyond. We tip our hats to these champions.
That all sounds great, but change doesn't just happen. Change has to be planned, organized, managed. When Billie Jean King and Muhammad Ali effected change in sports, they did it over time. Now, for people to do better, they have to know better. And when it comes to climate change in sport, most people just don't know any better. That's where the Sport Ecology Group comes in.
The Sport Ecology Group is one of several organizations working in the sports sector to provide information and resources that help teams, leagues, and leaders address the climate crisis. We start with the premise that sport depends on the natural environment, and that without a planet, there's no play. For the longest time, the sports sector took the natural environment for granted. We assumed that sunny days and perfect conditions would last forever. But we clearly can't afford to do that anymore. We must also recognize that the conditions of the natural environment are changing due to the climate crisis, and we must learn to react and respond in ways that keep sports safe and fun. We must also take responsibility for the waste and emissions created for and by the sports sector. At the Sport Ecology Group, we help the sports sector achieve sustainability goals through our 4 programmatic pillars: research, industry liaison, public scholarship, and teaching. To best understand what's happening in the world, we start with research. We offer advice and insight into what is happening and what will happen next. As a team of academics, the whole Sport Ecology Group team has been trained to collect and interpret data on questions ranging from what's the carbon footprint of a sport event to how will climate change impact baseball, and everything in between. Our second pillar is industry liaison. We work hard to make our data and research available to colleagues in the sport industry through partnerships with industry leaders who share their stages and Zoom meetings with us. We will meet people wherever they are. Each year, our team makes a point of attending several of the industry's largest conferences, including the Green Sports Alliance, Sports Positive Summit, and others. We also invite the general public to join us at the table. By showing up at sport events like Final Four and Super Bowl with student volunteers, we invite fans to be part of the solutions. In addition, we produce a podcast called Climate Champions, which has 2 seasons already out and a 3rd on the way in October of 2020. Our members regularly write op-eds and commentaries and participate in interviews for the general media. Our members' words have appeared in the Sustainability Report, Green Sports Blog, the Sports Network, ESPN, Green Biz, and more. If you want to follow our work, we send a quarterly newsletter available for free to any subscriber on our website, where we recap what's happening at the intersection of climate change and the sports world. And finally, as educators, our work wouldn't be complete if we didn't tie it into what we do in the classroom. We also share teaching resources with our colleagues in sport management departments across North America and Europe, which include an annual reading list published every summer, an introductory slide deck, and more. And finally, we always invite students to be part of the fun. There's a whole page of our website dedicated just to you.
Thank you for watching this video. I'm confident we can use the power of sport to move the needle on climate change, but it only works if we do it together and if we do it intentionally. You can follow our work at sportecology.org and subscribe to our newsletter at the bottom of the page.